Good day, my friends. Once again, I'm back on my phone. I just did an update, and I guess there must have been some glitches because there were all kinds of things that were taking up space on my phone that it wasn't telling me were taking up space, and now that's all been dealt with, so I can take longer videos on this again. So, there's an anecdote. There's something that I was going to say about Fellini that I forgot, which is that Michael Buckley. We do the bit about him at the end, and he saw the video and he shared it. I have no idea if he could make any sense of it, but he seemed to think it was funny, so he shared it, and because of that, Lisa Nova discovered our channel and left a few nice comments on some of the videos, and then I don't know if she watched William Shakespeare and saw the way we made fun of her, but it's like the way we make fun of her is so weird. Comparing someone to Salvador Dali, I don't know. It's you kind of have to be in the mindset of the series, I think. But I have no idea. I just know she left a few comments and then vanished. But so I guess we'll never know. But anyway, moving on. Well, then later on, the company that she helped start, they did actually approach me to see if I wanted to join them. Anyway, but I'm sure that has no connection to anything. So today's video is Fruntimmer, and I'm going to use this opportunity to tell one of the more bizarre facts that happened in ChurchOfBlow. It's the story of how the real Bernard tried to buy ChurchOfBlow from Ishmael. This is actually Ishmael's story. He has the emails to prove it. And this is one of those things I've said elsewhere. Bernard, real Bernard, he was a friend of mine for many, many years, and just one of those toxic friendships. He was one of those people I had in my life way longer than I ever should have, and it wasn't until I actually sat down and wrote down just everything that ever happened that I was kind of like overwhelmed with like, oh fuck, oh man, and like then it just became really easy to just keep him out of my life. But this is one of those things where it's like I actually forgot that this happened, and it was like very late in the game. It's like, oh fuck, didn't he? Oh my god. Oh, because it was this weird thing that happened completely on the internet, not direct, and it was never addressed in real life, never came up, was never mentioned, and so okay. And I've also said elsewhere that when I was in high school and I knew this guy, he had this way of being very Machiavellian. He would turn me and my friends against each other for weird reasons because we were in high school, we were young, it was easy to get us mad at each other and not pin it on the real source. But even then, we would eventually untangle it and figure it out and say, oh wait, it was something Bernard said to us. The thing is, Bernard was now, I was now in my 20s. Ishmael as well. Ishmael's older than me, but he's not much older. And Bernard was still trying to do this. There was just no fucking way. Manipulating high schoolers, he could handle, but manipulating us at the ages we were at, it just wasn't going to happen. And I think he always, he had a problem with the fact, I think he felt betrayed because I think he felt that we had this great partnership, or at the very least, by working together, we could actually go somewhere, which was never going to happen. So the fact that, Ishmael and I, we had this partnership, we were having a lot of fun creating things on the internet. I think he had some bitterness towards that, and I think he wanted to drive a wedge between us. But also, and of course, I don't know the motivations for this. I can only tell you what happened, and here's what happened. So Ishmael in 2008, Ishmael published the scripts, the Cornelius Blow scripts on Lulu.com, and the Gospel according to Cornelius, and so Bernard contacted Ishmael initially because he was working on his own film, and he wanted to know if Ishmael wanted to write for him, and Ishmael just said nope. No, I'm happy. I'm happy doing what I'm doing, and so then Bernard says to him, "Okay, but by the way, I have this friend who wants to buy the movie rights to your book." Friend. And Ishmael's like, "Oh, really? Oh, well, that's interesting. Well, if you're interested, send along a contract. I'll send it along to my solicitor to have a look at it." And I guess someone in his family really is a solicitor, so he wasn't actually joking. And so Bernard actually sent him a contract. No joke. Sent him a contract. And he did look it over. And if Ishmael had signed this contract, he would have signed over everything. Not just the book rights. Everything. The name Church of Blow, the fucking channel. Bernard would have had it all. And Ishmael's like, "There's no fucking way I'm signing this. Are you? No." Are you crazy? And I mean, it's just amazing that he thought Ishmael was that stupid. To have believed any of it. It's like, yeah, you have a friend who wants to buy the movie rights. And so Ishmael said no. And then the next weird thing that happened was Ishmael at the time, he had a blog, Organic Prankster, a blog spot. It's not up anymore. But he started getting these anonymous comments on his blog. But the thing is, he had put a tracker. I forget how. I don't know how you did these things back then, but it was very easy to put trackers on Blogspot, so that you knew who was looking at your blog and from where. I mean, not who. You just knew where they were in the world, and you even knew like the model of their computer, whatever they were browsing on. And so Ishmael was like, "Jeremiah, I'm getting some comments on my blog, and they're coming from your city." It was like a thriller. It's like it's coming from inside the house. I was like, "Really?" And he knew it wasn't coming from me. This was a totally different location, and so we look, and sure enough, there were these weird comments. But well, I say weird, but I knew exactly who wrote them. He had a very, very distinct way of writing, and of course the problem with Bernard is that he never makes any sense, especially in written form. He makes no sense at all. But I think he was still trying, but again, without revealing who he was or what he was talking about. He was trying to drive a wedge between Ishmael and I, because for one thing, I think because he felt, betrayed, that I had kind of rejected and pretty much ignored, put under the carpet any collaboration we had once had. I think because now the French thing was in its early stages. We were discussing that contract, and so I think from Bernard's perspective, I was going to do the same thing to Ishmael. I was just going to move on and completely abandon this partnership and move on to another one. I'm going to ignore that. Sorry. Or should I? Should I answer it? Will you hate me if it's an actual phone call? Hello? It was a fake call. So yeah, I think he was trying to. It's like he's like, "Oh, I see where this is going," and because it was like he was trying to warn him. Yeah, and but of course none of it made any sense, and of course it doesn't. The blog's not up anymore. But I do know Ishmael still has the emails. That at least those do exist. Not that he's going to show it to anyone, but they do exist. But that was that was so weird. And the thing is, I don't know if I ever said this before. At the time, Bernard and I worked at the same place. We were co-workers. So that made it even fucking weirder, because I had to go into work and we both pretended this wasn't happening. Because I mean, and also it just made the whole thing. Because the fact that I was getting ready to take this new and exciting opportunity, which means I was going to leave the job, and it was very exciting, and I was desperate for it to happen because again, it was just getting incredibly tense going into work every day and getting increasingly weird. But then something else weird happened, and I don't want to go too deep into this because again, I wanted to be able to talk about Bernard without, maintaining his privacy. I don't want to say his real name or give any indication. But what I will say is he did very briefly attempt his own YouTube series that was ChurchOfBlow adjacent. I'll just leave it at that. But I remember that was something that I used as an excuse to just stop talking to him, which didn't last forever, but it lasted a while. And certainly through most of my time working in France, I stopped talking to him. And then there was a brief period where we were speaking again, but that it didn't last long. Anyway, so so then I started working in France. I released the Fellini video finally, as I said. Then went to France that spring 2009. I did Honey Bloom Dreams. That was just an amazing time in my life. But I did Honey Bloom Dreams, but the theater didn't want to post any of these. They wanted me to do a bunch of them before they made any of them public, which was really frustrating because I was so proud of Honey Bloom Dreams. And so after that first work session, I went back to Maine for the summer. And I thought, okay, it's time to do another ChurchOfBlow. Where am I at in the series? Where, I've used up, I can't do another sketch. I got to do something that, progresses the... So got to do another Fishhook sketch, and the next one up was Fruntimmer. And again, it's just like the gaps were. There was a whole half a year between William Shakespeare and Fellini, and then another several months before I did Fruntimmer. And again, this is like a video that should have come much sooner than it did, especially. Because it references Jazz Dispute, and I know this video must have been written right when Jazz Dispute was starting to get it kind of went mini viral briefly, like in early 2007. But anyway, Fruntimmer. But I remember because I met with Keith that day, and I showed him Honey Bloom Dreams. He was like, oh, I showed him what I was working on, and then we did this, and of course my head is now shaved because of my Comedy de Caen work. I don't think it works for Bernard. Bernard, the story doesn't justify it at all. It's just Bernard suddenly has no hair. But anyway, here we go with Fruntimmer. Bit of Buddy Holly.
Bernard, this new coffee that you got is what is the phrase I'm looking for? It's good. Good, yes, but more than that. It's good.
Yeah, I think I see where you're going with this fish.
Okay, but I'm just saying that this is good.
I just look psychotic. I'm giving that this deadly stare on my face.
The date didn't go so well, huh? Back to watching Numb Doll videos.
You appear to be touching me.
Oh.
The date went fine. I just don't compromise. I think of women as I think of my acting. If a part isn't right for me, I won't do it. I need someone who's on the same wavelength as me, creatively, intellectually, as in my art, as in my life. I'm a perfectionist.
Why do you think positive there, bud? How do you suppose you impress?
Are they still using iMovie at this time? Why the fuck did the fade...
It's demeaning. It's degrading. This is the 21st century. Women don't want to be degraded.
Oh, some do. I met this chick the other night. You wouldn't believe what she did.
Spare me the details of your sordid sex life.
Well, then what should I call her, Mr. PC?
Fruntimmer.
Fruntimmer? What's
No,
that?
not Fruntimmer. Fruntimmer. It's Swedish.
Swedish. Cool. What's it mean?
Chick, I think.
So, you're really into this Fruntimmer.
Fruntimmer.
So you're really into this woman, right? So why don't you say something? Post a response video or something.
I can't do that fish hook.
Well, why not?
It's because she's gone, the fish hook. She's gone.
She's been gone for quite some time now.
Why did this have to happen?
Okay.
Why?
Okay. Calm down. So she's canceled her account.
Why?
Oh, I'm wearing my Vertigo shirt. I still have that. It looks like shit now.
Okay, Bernard. She deleted her account, but she's still out there. No one ever leaves YouTube, so maybe she has a new account. Maybe she has no account, but she just bookmarked your page.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I thought about myself. I just needed you to confirm my suspicions. Yeah, she's out there. I can feel she's out there. She's just waiting for me to say the right thing. Make the
It's
right
the first
sign.
one in high definition
She's
too,
Swedish, right?
sort
I
of.
think it's been well established, fish hook.
Why don't you say hi? Say, hi, I'm Bernard Smith with an I. Play your cards right, baby, and I'll give you a green card.
You think that anyone foreign is desperate to come to America, aren't you? Look, Sweden is probably the most civilized country in the entire Western world. They have culture, they have a more even distribution of wealth than we do, they have a healthcare system that's the envy of the world, and Obama. Don't know. Something that shows me off at my best. Something that opens her eyes to my talent and makes her see that we're kindred spirits.
Good luck with that, dear honey. Why don't you sing our little love song, you know? Kissy kiss, numb down. Kissy kiss, kissy kiss, numb down.
That's not a bad idea. Well, I don't know how I feel about singing on YouTube. It's not something I've done before, but that's a good lyric. Let me write that down. Kissy, numb doll, kissy. I'll work on it later when you're not around. Something I want to show you.
Yeah, this definitely comes 2 years too late.
He's good.
He's very good. Wrong! He is not good. Maybe he would be if he used his own damn ideas, but you, my friend, are looking at a big, thieving bastard.
Well, I mean, sure, it's a classic Jerry Lewis skit, but he's put his own spin on it, and, you know, he's got talent.
Jerry Lewis?
Yeah.
Jerry fucking Lewis stole it too? Yeah, I should have known. These hacks are everywhere and everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere. Thieving
Okay.
shits.
So, I see where you're going, Bernard. So, when did you come up with this idea, Bernard?
About 20 minutes ago, yeah, I did a search on YouTube to see if anyone else had done it. I fell across this runty fucker with his pretense-lated, gay-as-hell hat. This thing has 500,000 hits, so look at me. I'm a plagiarizing bohemian hat. It'd be better with two people.
No, it wouldn't, Bernard. Look at me, Bernard. Focus, Bernard. I'm telling you this because you're my friend, and I love you. Okay, I don't love you, but you are my friend. All right, I don't know that Look, you've got to stop with this. People keep stealing my ideas, shit. It's driving me out of my goddamn mind. I'm going to try to explain this to you in a way that you will understand. You know that Shakespearean quote? If there be nothing new, but that which is hath been before, then how are brains beguiled, which laboring for invention bear amiss the second burden of a former child? Sonnet 59. He stole it, my good man, from the Bible. No new thing under the sun. Ecclesiastes. Think of the irony. Shakespeare, in writing that there's no new idea, steals the fucking idea. Or maybe he had a similar idea. Look, it happens. The point is, if there was no new idea under the sun in old Shakey's time, there sure as your sweet ass isn't in Bernie Smith's. Huh?
You've been reading again. I hate it when you read things.
Let's leave the Swede aside, shall we? Look, I want your opinion on a new script.
Oh.
But before I let you read it, I need you to promise that you're not going to steal it for your crappy YouTube channel. Swear. I, Bernard Smith.
I, Bernard
Okay,
Smith.
let's do this properly. Get the holy book.
Holy book.
I,
Nice.
Bernard
I,
Smith,
Bernard
do
Smith,
solemnly
do
swear
solemnly swear
not to steal Bishop's
not to
skit
steal Fishhook's sketch
for my crappy YouTube
for
channel.
my YouTube channel.
Kindly that video looks like you.
It does fucking not.
No. She actually shot that last bit of footage specifically for this. Okay. So, something that gets completely lost because of again, the upload time. It would be another half a year before I posted again. But the next one, Doppelganger, is supposed to be the conclusion we're supposed to draw, one video to the next, is that, well, the next video is another sketch that Bernard has stolen. So the Doppelganger is in fact Fishhook's sketch, and Bernard stole it, but by the time the Doppelganger shows up, no one would have known that. But I think I knew all along that the Doppelganger wanted to be my next one. That was one that I was waiting for, and I think I'll go into that next time, give that its own video. Somebody's already expressed that Doppelganger is their favorite. It might be my favorite too. I don't know. It's tough to decide, but it's also based on a true story, if that's possible to believe. But I'll go into that when I get to it. Maybe just in a few minutes. I don't know. But until next time, see ya.